Hey guys, Lise Cartwright here from Hustle and Groove, your no fluff, just actionable strategies you can implement inside every single video. So today I am going to walk you through my planning process. Now, I typically roll with a 90-day plan, and if you want more information about what a 90-day plan looks like, or you want that template, drop something below and I will get that through to you. But beyond that, I like to do this. Now, I typically only ever put 90 days up, but I just wanted to show you how I kind of walk through this and how I'm thinking through this and how I'm planning and mapping things out. And the reason why I like to do post-it notes is because now I can move things around. And so what I wanted to show you is I actually mapped this out on my iPad first. So I wrote down what I thought I was going to do for this next 90 days. Now, I also have some commitments in place that I also like to keep track of because it does impact what I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of turn around. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But starting up here, and yes, I color code. So anything that is green is kind of a standalone program. Anything that is blue is related to the Digital Income Accelerator. Anything that is pink is travel. And then I've also got purple, which is for other things as well. Now, I actually have a purple one here that I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to fit this in. And this is for my book launch. So as you can see, when you look at this, January, February, March look kind of busy. Now, full caveat, I could literally do something every single week if I wanted to, but I definitely don't want to. So a couple of things I want to point out here, and you probably may not be able to see this, but this is the Recurring Profits Academy promotion. And there's two things that are happening with that. Number one, there is a live challenge that runs for a few days. I think it's about 5 days. And then the doors are open for a 2-week period. And then this starts on the 22nd of January. Now, I need to know that because energetically, I might not want to also be promoting this. However, I've already pre-sold spots to the nonfiction author incubator. So I probably will do that, but what I will be doing is segmenting. So I won't be promoting that to my entire audience. I already have an author segment, so I'm just gonna send them emails. It's gonna be kind of a low effort launch because I don't really need to do a ton. People will know whether it's for them or not. So these are the two main focuses for January. Totally fine, totally normal. There are a couple of other things that I'm doing from a consulting perspective, but I don't necessarily need to put them on here because they don't actually impact what I'm doing in my business. So then for February, the biggest thing I'm always looking for is the travel things to see how that is going to impact what I'm doing. So we do have some travel here at the end of the month, so that's actually not going to be too much of an issue. However, that was when I was planning to launch my book. So I'm just going to have to really sit with this. I wanted to walk you through how I'm thinking through that. So two things happening in February is the Audience Amplify Bootcamp promotion. That is, you know, if I'm doing a promotion, I'm generally doing it for a week. The only time that I do something longer is for a high ticket offer. So Audience Amplify Bootcamp runs the promotions from February 12th to 18th, and then it starts on February 19th, and then that is a 6-week live program. So that's probably the main focus for February. And then I also have a list building event scheduled for DIA members. That is pretty easy for me to do. So I could conceivably launch the book the following week. However, the reason why I haven't put that there and the decision that I need to make is that as part of my book launch, I will be doing a very similar style event. So a list building event is a collaboration event. And when I launch a book, I will also be doing an author collaboration. And that is going to be part of that launch process. And my launch process is 2 weeks. And in amongst that, I want to do an author collaboration. So what I'm thinking through here is, from my audience perspective, how annoying is it going to be to have 2 collaboration events back to back. Pretty annoying. So this is set in stone. I'm not gonna change it. So now I'm at a point where I'm just kind of like, okay, so am I now in a position to launch my book in March? But we're traveling to Malaysia in March for basically 10 days. And I definitely don't want to be launching anything while I'm away, because we're doing lots of travel things while we're there, and we just want to have some fun. And I've purposely chosen that week because I literally have nothing scheduled but one thing. And if I do have any kind of calls, you'll see here that I've put a note to move those calls. I can schedule them out now. The other thing that I was planning for March was a mini course collaboration, opening applications for that. So that's where I'm at now, where I'm thinking potentially I move this to April, but I like to do these once a quarter. And if I move this to April, then it means that nothing has happened in this quarter. And I just have to go, am I okay with that? You know what, I kind of am. So now that we've kind of walked through that, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move that down to here. Again, this is why I'm a huge fan of post-it notes. And instead of March, I'm going to put April. And I think I haven't got my calendar here. It'll probably be around there. So now I can put the Cultivate You book launch to be after we come back. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say March 18. And let me just see. That will go until the 31st. So it's a 2-week process. And that feels really good now that I've kind of mapped that out. So I've also put a couple of other things that are coming up in terms of list building events. But beyond that, that's actually all that I have scheduled. And I'm using air quotes because these 2 list building events are subject to change. But the reason why I don't map out my entire year is because I have no idea what the first 90 days is going to look like, how I'm going to feel with the 2 things of travel. This travel here is not that bad because it's internally here in Australia. But this travel here is going to have a big impact. Now, you might be wondering why I don't have anything beyond September, because October, November, December is massive travel. And October, we're probably going to be out of country for the entire month. And for December, I predominantly take that entire month off, and we will be out of country for that. So November, we're still deciding whether we're going to come back or whether we're actually just going to go for the whole 3 months. So that's why I haven't put it on here, because at this point in time, it makes zero difference to any of this stuff here. So if you are in a position now, it's January, you're wanting to kind of think through how you're going to map things out, how I sit down and do this is literally looking at my office suite, and I will put that up here. I've got a nice blank wall. So I'll put an example of what my office suite looks like. So I'm looking at that, and that then determines how I create this money-making marketing plan, which is essentially what this is what am I doing? What am I talking about? What am I promoting? All of those things. The bottom line is, though, foundationally, I have the opportunity for people to buy from me every single day already built in. These are just intentional promotions. And I also don't have to do any promotions every single month if I don't want to as well. So I'm literally just going to leave this here, and then I won't need to really start thinking about April until I probably get to the beginning of March. Then I will start thinking and looking ahead, depending on how all of this has gone, as to what I'm going to do next. A couple of things. My office suite is predominantly flat, as in there are a couple of front-end offers that funnel people into my main membership, which is the Digital Income Accelerator. So that is the thing that I'm pretty much funneling people to. I have like these 3 individual programs that I will only ever probably do once to 3 times a year max. In fact, RPA only happens once a year at the beginning of each year. The Nonfiction Author Incubator and the Audience Amplify Bootcamp, they may happen a little bit more regularly, but at a minimum, I'm probably only going to do that twice a year. So it frees things up. I'm a manifesting generator, so I actually really appreciate flexibility. Another reason why I don't have everything mapped out. So your next step right now is to think about what this might look like for you. Things to consider are, do you have any travel plans locked in? These travel plans are locked in, booked, all good to go. What does that look like? How does that impact your business? Then number two, looking at your offer suite, how often are you presenting the opportunity for people to buy from you? And then what intentional promotions do you want to do? Or what have you got coming up that you're planning to launch? Because all of this now dictates things like the content that I create for my email subscribers, also any content that I might create for my DIA members as well around this information. So hopefully this makes sense. I just wanted to share. I hope that this was helpful. Huge color coding just is at a glance, without me having to read everything, is what allows me to just kind of make decisions very quickly. So I hope you enjoyed this. Go ahead and figure out what yours looks like, and if you want that 90-day template, drop something below